Blog time, people. Back on the bank on the Pride of Derby. It's a Sunday night. Got here a couple of hours ago. Well, about 4 hours ago now. I'm down in Catfish Corner, fishing an area out there. I've got one on a wafter, one on a pop-up and one on a zig. I've just got everything sorted. Got the rods out. I've had a good walkabout today. All the way around the lake. Spoke to a few people. There's still been nothing out. There's been some fish showing up that top end, so I've been told. But I don't fancy it because I know there's quite a few people supposed to be on tomorrow. So I've come down this end. Wind's blowing down here now, and then tomorrow. And it's been quite warm tonight actually. And then tomorrow it's blowing a westerly. And it's shallower down here, so it's getting a lot of sun in the day. It's not doing nothing up there. So I thought I'd come down here. As you can see, I'm still only just getting sorted out. There's stuff everywhere. As per usual. So that's my plan for tonight. I'm just gonna put a couple of spoms out over each rod and that's it. Hardly any bait, just a few bit of ground bait, a bit of boilie crumb, just a few liquids and powders, just to get a bit of scent in the area. And I shall put 2 over each rod and then leave it. And then tomorrow I shall switch to probably to 2 zigs in the day. But yeah, that's the state of affairs, people. It's just starting to turn cold now. I mean, the weather's all over the fucking place. It's been snowing, raining, warm. Don't know what it's doing. But that's what I'm up to now anyway. So I'm going to get this lot cleared up, get my suit on, get a cuppa, get something to eat. So I'll catch you in a bit, people. Adios, amigos. Right people, state of play. And had nothing else since that bream this morning. Like I say, I think it's about 6 o'clock, 5:45 when I had that bream. There's a bit of a breeze on the water now. It keeps 1 minute it's dead sunny and the next minute when the sun goes in it's cold again, but it weren't forecast to be sunny like this today. And it's been on the water all morning. The sun came up over here and the sun's been on that area I'm fishing all day up to now. The sun's just starting to move back behind me, so the sun will be on it again until later. I've stuck the chod back out there what I had the bream on my area, and then what I've done is I've reeled one of the other rods in and put a zig on that. So I've got 2 zigs out there, and then that chod rig. It's a fairly high chod as well. I don't like them too low, I prefer them slightly higher. I do. There's fish milling about out there now. I don't think the camera will pick them up, but the bream, I've seen that many bream this morning, and I would say that the bream is spawning out there. Where I'm fishing, they're spawning out there. They've been spawning, should I say. I think they've finished spawning now, because I mean that bream that I had was covered in spawning tentacles, cuticles, whatever you want to call it. And it was scarred up from where it had been spawning, and like I say this morning there's just that many fish down here, tench and bream. So I'm just hoping that the carp are around somewhere, which I would have thought they would be. But I've put adjustable zigs out, fishing with black foam on both of them, and I'm just moving them about. So far I've only been moving them about in the top third of the water, but as the afternoon goes on, one of them I'm going to move down in the bottom half of the water, up and down, and keep moving the other one up and down in that top third of water, to see if anything comes of it. If nothing comes of it, then I should just see what happens later, see what the weather's like. I might leave the zigs on and just leave the chod on as well, but reel them all in, check them all, and just re-put them back out there. I mean, last night I put 6 bombs out, but it's only like ground bait, a mixture what I make up with some liquids and powders in, my own speciality. Just with a few chopped boilers in there, that's all. Hardly any food at all. And like I said, I put about 6 out last night, because a couple of them didn't go out very well. They didn't open up again, but so I put about 6 out. And then after I had that fish this morning and I waited a few hours, sorry, about an hour, because it took me that long to practice about getting it out and changing some fish out there again now. Changing my chod rig over to a new rig and everything, because I was doing my breakfast and all sorts at the same time. So, but all I did was put just 3 more spoms out, oddly out in it, like 3 half medium spoms out, just to put a bit of scent back in the area. But then I shall see later. I might put a couple more out, I might not. I'll see what happens. See what happens whether I decide to keep the zigs on or whatever. At the minute I'm undecided. So that's the state of affairs, people. But nothing else to report so far, so I'm going to have a cup of tea. Just carry on watching the water. And hopefully one of these beauties will pop their head out. Over my spot, hopefully. So, alright, so catch you in a bit, people. Adios, amigos. Morning people, as you can see it's a nice sunny morning again. It is, but nothing to report. I can't believe it, that rod didn't go, one of them rods didn't go last night. I mean, I'd seen a carp last night right over my middle rod, and there was that many fish topping last night. I mean, majority of them were tension bream, but amongst them there was 2 or 3 carp definitely, or 2 of them definitely. Which is out here, on my spot out here. Now this morning there's not as many fish topping as there was yesterday morning. There was topping everywhere. But I've had no liners, nothing all night. It's been completely dead. I got woke up about, what was it, 1 o'clock in the morning, and it was the swans catching the rods, and then I heard them catching all their rods up there as well. But I'm fishing with slack lines anyway, so, well, slackish lines, slack on one of them, and the other 2 have got a drop on them, but there's a bit of slack there, so they won't disturb the rigs, I wouldn't have thought. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave them until about 10 o'clock, I think 10, half 10, and I think I'm going to put zigs on again, just for the day. Any other place I have noticed fish keep topping is down this side here, unlike where the marginal shelf starts to drop off here. But obviously not carp, I've seen tench on there, so I think whoever was in here at the weekend must have had a rig down there and been chucking handfuls of bait over it, I think. There's a tension mop in that one. So yeah, there's not really much else I can do. I've been checking down this side here all day, you know, every hour. Spending 10-15 minutes checking down that side, and I've seen nothing down that side. So they're definitely moving about. Carp just don't seem to be feeding properly yet. There's been 1 fish out, I think. A bloke who's on here for a couple of weeks, he's had one out, a 21 pounder. I think the only other fish to come out from that is that one I had out in December, I think. So it's still got a bit of warming up to do yet. But I'm here today, so I shall have another go and get some breakfast, go to the toilet, have a wash, get some breakfast going. And like I say, I think I'm going to put zigs on, and then put a few more spoms out last night, not a lot, just another 6, 2 over each rod. So there's been hardly any bait gone out at all since I've been here. But yeah, that's the state of affairs, people. So I'm going to get myself a nice luxurious, juicy, heart attack breakfast. So I shall catch you in a bit, people. Adios, amigos. Right people, got to be done, my little beauties. Nice homemade Chinese, some mashed potato and some naans. Beautiful job. Still looking really good out there. I've seen another 2 carp, small ones, directly over my spot. One was here, one was there. In fact, it might even have been the same carp. It looked like a ghost carp. Like orange and white tail on it, but there's been movement all over that area still. So all I've done is I've fetched my rods in about half an hour ago. It's about 4:30, 5 o'clock. Just got them back out there, and then I'll make a decision later whether or not to put a little bit more spod out. But for now I'm going to sit back, kick back, enjoy this homemade curry and then later on a nice little glass of wine, and then make a decision whether I'm going to go home tomorrow or see if I'm going to stop. So catch you in a bit, people. Adios, amigos. Morning, people. It's another nice morning, the sun's out again. Still nothing. I cannot believe one of them rods ain't gone. I can't. I mean, I've seen carp, 3 small carp over my spot yesterday. Well, 2 was right over it, and the other one was to the side. But nothing. Not even had any liners. I just can't believe that one of them rods ain't gone. But they're there. I just don't think they're getting their heads down. I think the tension the bream are feeding and happily away, but I just don't think the carp are getting on the munch properly out. Now, I was supposed to be going home today, but because of the fact I've seen carp and I've got bait out there, I've wangled it. As long as I get my work done on the bank, I'm going to stop an extra day, a couple of days I think. I just feel like there's one going to come. I just think it's a really good opportunity. I'll not be able to get next week, so that's the plan of action. I'm going to stop for a few more days, I think. Right, I'm going to get some breakfast, get a cup of coffee, and chill out, watch the water. I'm going to leave the rods in till about dinner time, and then I should take them out, redo them, and put them back out there, but I'm not putting any bait out, and then they can go in and they'll be left in then till tomorrow, dinner time, and just see what happens unless I see anything else. I've been baiting a couple of areas for stalking. I've not seen anything in them areas, so yeah, I shall keep looking. Right, I'm going to get some breakfast, people. So catch you in a bit. Adios, amigos. Vlog time, people. It's another glorious sunny morning, as you can see. Every single day this week's been like this. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning, up at 5 again. And I've spent since Sunday absolutely working them zigs up and down in the water. I've took all the zigs off now, gone back to bottom baits. Battery exhaust. Yeah, like I was saying, I've gone back to bottom baits because the water's got like blue-green algae in it. The visibility's terrible in the water, and I think that's why the zigs aren't working. Even though it's really high pressure, I've worked and worked and worked them. So, like I said, I've switched back to bottom baits. Look at that, beautiful. Anyway, people, I'm going to get some breakfast. I'm ready for some bacon cobs, cup of coffee. I put a bit more bait out last night. I put 10 spoms out, actually. But the fish haven't been showing as much this morning over my area. I've seen 4 carp up to now. I've seen a hell of a lot of tension, a hell of a lot of bream. The lake's pretty packed as well. So that's the story of the fair so far, people. Look at that, beautiful. Alright, let's catch you in a bit. Last day, off in the morning. Adios amigos, breakfast time. Cup of tea time, my friends, cup of tea. Can't beat a good old cup of tea right after your dinner. Beautiful. Well, last night I've had fish all over me all day. I've even bought in one of my rods from here because I've had fish showing down this side now. Fish here 4 times, all carp. So basically pulled one of my rods in and dropped a rig down there. Still got my other 2 rods out there on my spot. But I'll make my mind up whether to keep that rod there or bring it in later, I'm not sure yet. Put the other one back out there. We'll see what happens. Right, I've got to go. Because I've got to keep my battery life, people. So otherwise I won't be able to take pictures of fish that I catch later, if you know what I mean. Right, gotta go. Adios amigos. Right, people, it's that time again. I'm having to pack up. Saturday morning and it is swarming with fish down here. There's loads of them, they're everywhere, but they're up on the surface and they're just not touching anything. They won't have floaters, zigs, they're not touching bottom baits. All they're doing is hovering about. They're coming up, showing up here and circling, and they're just full in this area. There's that many of them, but they're not interested in food. All they're doing is scooping little tiny flies up. They're not even picking the big flies. Clumps of them, they're just hovering along, getting the little tiny flies. I've been watching them for hours and hours and hours. The fish have been here all the time I've been here, all week. Carp are just not feeding properly yet. They're just not getting their heads down. I just wish I had my big float rod with me. I could have experimented a bit more, so next time I'll bring that. But I'm going to have to get going, people, because I'm in the middle of packing up and somebody's jumping in here, so thanks everybody for watching. I just say tight lines, happy angling, and you know, adios amigos.